It's all because of the pumpkin face for Halloween, not because of who you are, because I'm still here and I've been hosting the show with you for a long time. It is 8:34 here this morning, and as promised, I've got, well, guest one of two actually this morning on your breakfast show on Pure West Radio. Jim Bowen. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Jim, it's so good to speak to you this morning. I feel like we arranged this ages ago, but it's to coincide with something special on Sunday, which we'll get to in just a short moment. But I've met you a few times. I've trained you up on a few bits and pieces, and then we had a press release about two and a half weeks ago, and I was like, that's Jim. And it's because, Jim, you're involved in something that's really special.
Well, thank you. There's a lot of people in Pembrokeshire who wear a lot of different hats because we're all so innovative and dynamic, I guess. But yeah, it's Clinview Farm. It's my family's farm up in North Pembrokeshire.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Clinview Care Farm, and we'll get on to why we received the press release in just a moment. What is Clinview Care Farm? What's the background?
Okay, well, it's my family's farm. We've been there since 1750, and my gran started doing holidays there in the 60s. My mum started doing disability holidays in the 80s, and the whole thing's evolved on to become a care farm. And there are 10 adults with learning disabilities living in supported tenancy full time. And there's about 20 other people that come in for day service, doing meaningful stuff. And the time has come, we feel, as a family to sell it on into community hands. So we're going to run a community share offer to mean that it's no longer owned by one family, but the community will own it and have more of a say in what goes on the farm.
Wow, that's decades worth of experience that you're bringing to the table for the community to get involved in. But what have been your kind of highlights over the last number of years that you've been involved?
Seeing the difference that we've made to people's lives. I mean, the countryside is an incredible tool for learning and education and fun, and with the climate changing and so much, getting more involvement in what we all do on the land. I'm so proud of what we've been able to do there in sort of those sorts of terms, giving people opportunities they haven't had before.
Yeah, and what kind of opportunities do you offer there? Because a lot of people think, oh, farm work, it's hard labor, it's the agriculture industry, there's early mornings, late nights, jumping when the weather's right. Well, how have you managed to tailor that?
Well, we've been able to adapt what we're doing based on the interest that people who are coming in have got, and not just the participants and tenants, but the staff as well. And we got about 40 staff who were really skilled in different things. And some of the projects now, we have a worm composting enterprise. So we make award-winning worm compost. And that was run by Charlie Martin, who's one of our staff team. We've been making charcoal for 25 years. There's an apple juicing scheme. We did over 11,000 bottles of apple juice for the local community last year. And it's making use of what we've got in our area. People are bringing in their own apples that would just fall otherwise. You get so many apples from a good tree each year, you can't eat them all. But if you bring them in and juice them up, then our team will mean you end up with apple juice that you can drink for a year. It'll last for a year in the bottle. So it's a pretty cool scheme.
That's incredible. That's and this is just in North Pembrokeshire. It's a stone's throw away from wherever you are in Pembrokeshire, and this is something now that you want to open up. And is that with an aim to diversify? What's the aims and means then behind this community share offer?
Well, we're as busy we can get. We don't want to get any busier. We would love it if other people took our idea and developed it elsewhere. And we wrote a book a few years ago about how to set up a care farm to help others do that. But the idea of the care farm, the idea of the share offer behind the farm will mean that the care farm and the tenants there are secure forever. But it means that the more the wider community have a say in what happens, because there's been a small team of people with ideas so far, but with the changing climate and so on, we need more voices coming in about how we use our land in the future. And working with Fanoni Community Resilience, which is based up in North Pembrokeshire, there's so many good people with good ideas of what we should or could be doing with land. And to improve our food security and food sovereignty and so many other things like that. And we know that we see this as the future. We want more community involvement, more individuals having a say in what happens.
Yeah, and I suppose the more individuals and the wider breadth of knowledge that you can call in from, the more likely the farms remain sustainable in this ever-changing world.
Absolutely. It's such a fragile world at the moment. In a global scale, it's microscopic. But, in a local scale, we know we can have a positive impact. And that's really what the driving force is.
Yeah. And if someone now is listening to this and they're thinking, oh, I like the sound of this, whether as somewhere that they can bring their own users or whether they're interested in the share offer, first of all, where can they find out more about you in general terms? And then we'll look at the share offer in particular. So if people are interested to know more, where can they go for that?
Well, we've got a website, clinview.co.uk, and we have festivals and stuff every now and then. I think on the 8th of December, 9th of December, Friday, we got a Christmas fair. So hopefully people can come along there, but just get in touch. We love showing people around. We love having more people coming along and getting involved and just seeing. It's not ideal for everyone, but especially with farmers who are wondering what to do with the land. We want people to see what we're doing, to steal our ideas, to make it better in their own places. No, it's that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and for those that might be interested in having that stake and being a share offer holder, well, where can they find out more information? Because of course there are implications to being an owner or share owner to different things. It's a bit more than just popping along and paying your admission fee for something. You
Yeah.
become a stakeholder. So
We do. Yeah, it's an
yeah.
investment. People are putting investments in, and the minimum investment is £100. And like all investments, good ones, you get a return. You'll get up to 4% return each year on your £100. And when you want your £100 back, you ask for it back. And so long as we've got enough in the bank, then we'll be able to give that back as well. So
Mhm.
it's not a charity thing. It's not people giving us money. It's people buying a stake, buying a share. And then at the AGM every year, they'll have a voice in to say what happens next. And we know it's a really solid business plan, and I could take ages to explain all of that. It's a bit dull, but anyway, we know from the income that we've got, we can pay that return, and we know there's a surplus, a profit afterwards, and that profit will go into wider community resilience stuff. And everybody who buys a share will have an equal say in what happens with that money. So it's not just about Clinview, it's about the wider community and benefiting, building community resilience on a further field.
Fantastic. And that press release actually is on your section on our website, which we're going to conveniently move on to now. So if you want to find out more, we received this information. It's saved on the website. And if you search for Team PWR, go on to monthly specialist shows, you'll find one that's called The Climate Show with Jim Bowen. Hello, Jim.
Hello.
And this actually ties in a lot with what you've just been saying there about community resilience and the ever-changing world. But you're actually bringing these issues to the forefront on your climate show every month.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do that. It's difficult sometimes to talk to people about the changing climate and the ecological breakdown because basically nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to acknowledge the challenges that we're facing. And having that opportunity to do that on a Sunday morning from 9 till 10 once a month, little plug there, is a great gift. So thank you so much for that. It's really
Oh,
good.
you're very grateful. Even bigger plug. It's this coming Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
This coming Sunday, 9 o'clock. And we've got some great guests. There's a Newport Food Festival going on at the moment this week up there in Newport. And that's linked up with Eden Project. And one of the guests this week is from that. So you can hear about that. But come along to it's only Tuesday today. The food festival finishes on Saturday, and there's a hell of a lot going on there to get involved with.
Plenty more opportunities to go up and talk to local retailers, local farmers, and find out what's going on there. And you just mentioned on this upcoming climate show, you're chatting with one person from the Eden Project. The show isn't just you giving facts and figures about different things. You're actually getting the perspective and point of view of different organizations. You've had solar farms on before, wind farms on before. And of course, you can listen back to previous shows of the climate show at purewestradio.com/catch up, or when you go and find the climate show under the Team PWR tab. To give us a flavour as to what people can expect once a month.
Well, there is, as you say, there's lots of stuff. There are scientific experts, talking about the science behind it. But there's also like the DPJ Foundation came on last week, who are Pure West Charity of the Year, and they were set up a few years ago to help farmers in crisis. And they said on the show that they had never had more phone calls than they had during the wet spring when the lambing was so difficult. And
Mhm.
that points out again how hard it is being a farmer or living in the rural community, and food production is everything, and the impact of the changing climate on farmers and growers is astonishing. This week, then, we're talking to Pembrokeshire Homeless, somebody who set that charity up. And again, there are more homeless people in Pembrokeshire than there ever have been before. And the changing climate and the breakdown of society and all of that means that there are more pressures on more people. And we as a community need to know that, to prepare for that now, because it doesn't look likely to get better anytime soon. So
Yeah.
it's sometimes it's quite a heavy show, but it's very joyous as well. As the Newport Food Festival, it is a celebration of resilience and community.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. It's the first Sunday of every month between 9 and 10 o'clock. Jim spends all month gathering these people together and puts on a great show. And if you can't tune in live on your smart speaker, on the mobile app, or online, as I say, you can listen back as part of the catch up as well at purewestradio.com. Jim, I can't wait for this Sunday show, and I can't wait for inquiries for your share offer as well. I think that farm sounds remarkable for those with the supported living, the day service, and how you're using local produce to help people. In the example you gave, drink apple juice for a year. I love that. Using what's in our back garden, literally, and making it last a whole year is fantastic. Jim, thank you so much for joining me.
Great, thanks, Tom. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're very welcome. If you have any questions for Jim or want to get in touch with Jim, what was that website again?
It's clinview.co.uk.
There we go. You'll have all the information that you need there, and on our website, purewestradio.com, climate show, you'll find some more. And Jim, you put in a bit of music on your climate show as well, and you've given us a song to play this morning as well.
Thank you. Yeah, how about Bill Withers' Lean on Me?
That sounds perfect. It's 8:45 here this morning on Halloween, the 31st of October. Jim, take care. Look forward to tuning in on Sunday morning.
Thank you. See you. Bye.